add a new list in spreadsheet and type in your numbers like we did yesterday. So 6.9, 8.7, 7.6, 4.8, and then 9.0, or just 9. We do need to label it. Let's just call it list A. So go up to the top and call it A and press enter.
Cool. It's a little chilly in here.
A cool thing that we will maybe do next is put in multiple lists. So I think we'll try that next.
Oh, I did that last night. Yeah, I heard you did that.
Now we're going to add a page. So remember to do that. You hit Control and then the dock button. So Control, add page of calculator.
Oh, that's so much bigger.
That's how you do that?
So you already know how to find the mean. So let's find standard deviation. Go to menu, statistics, go to list math, and then, well, let's do the variance for population variance. Go to the last one, population variance.
A.
Yeah,
And then I put A, right?
and then type in whatever you named it.
2.26.
That's what we got. Did you type it in right?
Something wrong.
Did you hit variance pop?
Yeah. I think I'll just put it in.
Maybe. Then you can do it again. So menu, statistics, list math, and do population standard deviation. And then you'd get your standard deviation. And then just so you know, you can type in like the letters mean and then parentheses A to find your mean. You don't have to go to that place. Like you can actually just type in mean, which means you could probably do the same thing with the other two.
Yeah.
But there's like more words and stuff.
Let's try it. Var
Oh, I have
pop
to shift.
A. Yeah, so you can type in var pop A for variance population. So there's two. There's sample and there's population. You're going to use population. Okie
I'm
dokie.
definitely gonna use that.
Okay, so first we're going to type in our girl heights. So we have 66, 66, 66, 64,
Apple is a lie.
62,
I know, I'm
and
really
65.
upset about
These are like
I don't know why you ever thought you were 5'6".
Okay, neither of you guys are 5'6". You're like 5'5".
I'm going to name this list.
Yeah.
He's an inch shorter
I'm
than me.
recording.
Sure. You guys are the same height.
I'm naming this list girl.
Look at her shoes.
If you want to make it easier, you can name it like G or something.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Wow, why?
Then
Guys, so
list
small.
B, I'm going to do boy.
Bob.
And I'm going to type in our boy heights.
26. How do you get so many boys?
710.
Brennan's dad and Mr. Dolman.
My
Yeah.
dad's 5'8" if you want to know.
Nope, too
So
late.
short.
It's too late. He had his chance.
So short. Poor Eric.
Okay, and then in the third list, list C, I'm going to write all,
I'm just healed all the time.
and then we're going to put them all in there.
Oh,
So
all. We're
all
doing
boys and all girls.
I got the. You got stuck in my head.
You're welcome.
No. This is not okay.
Bye.
I got the
Bye.
horses in the brain. Oh, that was good.
I got the words in my bag. Wait, Madison, how tall are you?
She's 5'2".
Yeah.
Let's just make fun of Madison.
She's 62 inches.
He's
I'm over a foot taller than
literally a foot and 2
you. You're
inches.
so cool.
So now we're going to open a new page. Wake up, wake up. So open a new page,
A new.
add calculator,
Chicken.
hit record. So go to menu,
Menu.
go down to statistics. Now if you just want the mean or you just want the standard deviation, you can do it the way I showed you before. Or you can go to, where was I just at? I forgot already.
We do add calculator, right?
I think I was here, stat results.
Stat results.
I think. No, that's not it.
Okay.
Sorry. Menu. Here it is. It's right here. I just missed it.
Menu, statistics.
Calculations number 1. and then go to one variable statistics,
Oh my god, what just happened? Go back up.
and then it's going to show you this little
Yeah.
pop-up.
Uh-huh.
It says number of lists, 1. Just say 1. It gets very busy if you do more than one list at a time. And then it says X1 list.
Ah,
So here, I'm going to type in girl, because that's what I named my girl stuff. Yeah, so then just type in G.
Real cheese.
Don't worry about the rest of it, just leave the rest of it blank, and then just hit enter or OK.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Whoa.
And then it's going
Whoa.
to try to give you as much information as possible. So you kind of have to go up a little bit. So this first number right here, X bar, that's your mean. So the average height of like the girls in this room is about 64, 65 inches. Okay?
Wait,
So
how
that's
did we
like
do that?
5'4", 5'5".
We went to menu.
It was menu, statistics, the first one, and then
First one.
First one on what?
and then you just name your list in
I
there.
don't know what you call your list.
But I'm recording it, I'll post it so you don't forget.
No, just with the.
If you look at this thing, this is just like the sum of the x's and the squared. It's just like these are the steps to standard deviation. This number right here, I believe, is the variance. And then this number right here is your standard deviation. Actually, wait.
Oh, what's the
This one might be the variance.
What's the variation?
Hold on, I'm going to check. Yeah, one of these is population, one of these is sample. This
How do we
one's
know
sample,
which
this one's population. I'm going to do a test real quick so we can find out.
What's the difference between population and
This is your smallest x value. This is your quartile 1. This is your median or quartile 2. This is your quartile 3. This is your largest. So if you're making a box and whisker plot, this is whisker 1. This is quartile 1. This is your median, quartile 3. That's the edge of your box. And this is your other whisker. And I believe this final
But
number...
that whisker is the same, so we just not have a whisker.
Say that again?
Like, because the 66 is the same, so we just wouldn't have a whisker.
Oh yeah, so you wouldn't have a whisker.
Whisker bond.
So I'm gonna do one more thing. So I'm gonna find our standard deviation real quick, so I can compare. There we go. All right, 1.46. So this one right here, the one with the sigma, that's your standard deviation. There's two different kinds of standard deviation. One's like sample standard deviation and one's population standard deviation. We're gonna use population. So the second one, the one with the sigma, that's your standard deviation. We got n is the number of things, right? There were 6 people. We went through the rest of it, I think. Yeah.
Where's our variance?
I think that's your variance. I don't know that there is a variance. The variance is like hiding. So this number divided by n is your variance. This number right here, you see the 12.8 number?
So
That divided by the number here, 6, that's your variance. Or you could just square the standard deviation.
And then
So you can either do like 12.83 repeating divided by 6, or you can just square your standard deviation for your variance. Got it?
Got it good.
Questions? That was a lot. All right, now we're going to look at the boys. So let's do this again.
So
Menu.
the average for views is like
Menu, statistics, stat calculations,
oh my god, I keep doing this wrong.
and then one variable statistics. One list, and I called this list boy.
B.
Big boy.
Nothing happened.
We should do weight next.
So, according to our boy statistics, the average boy height is about 6 feet tall, 6.5 feet tall.
Yeah, gonna ruin that.
The standard deviation is 1.89 inches. Okay, so what that means, so let's round that to 2 just for the sake of explaining what that means. What that means is a very large majority of people fall between 2 inches less than 6 feet and 2 inches greater than 6 feet. So between 6'2" and 5'10", that's where the bulk of boy heights are. Now, that's like a crazy general. We did not sample enough people to make that statement.
Literally.
But if we sampled a lot of boys, we could make that statement. So if we had a bigger sample size, like 200, and we made sure we went all over, we got people from different races, different, not different. I was going to say
Countries.
different genders, but that doesn't make sense. Not different genders. Yeah, maybe different countries. Then we could maybe make a generalization like that. We can't. We can only make the generalization that in our math class / Mr. Delman and Braden's dad, we can make that generalization for our math class. Okay?
How tall is your dad?
5'11".
And if we were making a box and whisker plot, our whisker would be our quartile 1, so we wouldn't have a first whisker. This would be our box, 71, 71 and a half to 74, and then we'd have a whisker at 76. And then we could take 21.5 and divide it by 6 to get our variance. And then our standard deviation, like I said, it was like 1.8 inches. Since we did it in inches, that's what we would do our standard deviation in inches. So if we go back to our girls real quick, our standard deviation was about 1.5 inches. And our average height was like 6, we'll say 5'5", right? So that means that the majority of our girls are between 5'6.5" and 5'3.5", which is pretty accurate. And that if you're more than, say, 2 standard deviations away from the mean, you're like either pretty short or pretty tall in comparison to the average.
So, wait,
Now let's do them all. So menu, statistics, and then we're going to do our last list, which I called all. That was all of it. And we're going to see different things.
May you please stop?
So you can see the mean. It's less than the boy mean, but more than the girl mean, obviously, because the boys are hiking the girls up and the girls are hiking the boys down. So 68 inches, or 68.5 inches, I should say. And if you look at the standard deviation, you see how much bigger it is? It's like 4 inches. There's more variation in our data, so the standard deviation is a larger number. Because you look at Braden and you look at Madison, there's a lot of variation there. Okay? So, and even though the mean is adjusted, it's still farther away from the mean. So, 68 inches, what is that in feet? 5'8". So let's say 5'8"-ish
More like 5'9".
is our average height of the people in this classroom. We can say the majority of the people in the room are between
But if you take out Madison, you
what?
If you take out Madison and me, then
It's pretty.
it'd be a little bit more.
Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Oh,
Matt's really
yeah,
short,
that's
you're really tall.
Yeah.
So, 4 inches above 5'8", that'd be 6. So between 6 and 5'4". The majority of the class is between 6 and 5'4", which is accurate because that's like pretty much everyone, right? That encompasses like the whole classroom. Again, so you'd have a whisker. You'd have a whisker at 62. You'd have your box right here, 1, 2, 3, and then you'd have another whisker at 76.
So I'm at the max. I'm at the max.
Yeah.
Max in our mid.
Hey,
I
Brandon.
got recognized.